Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is episode 19 of the SANE Show, the show about nothing and everything. I'm your host, Cliff. I got a special guest with me, good friend of mine, KK. What's going on, KK?
Hey y'all, it's KK.
Like, literally, I think for the first couple of seconds, I did kind of forget how I opened up the show, so that's why it took me. That's why it took me. So I was like, what do I say again? Like, I'm 19. I'm 19 episodes in, and I already forgot what the heck to say. So
Come on, Cliff. Come on.
I'm back on track though. I'm back on track. Everything's good. Okay, so I'm gonna hop right into it like we always do. Our topics that we're going to talk about today, we actually got a good one. I like to call this the woman empowerment episode. Got a lot of good stuff that I think is going to really resonate with a lot of people out here, especially our female listeners. We're going to talk about toxic relationships, keeping women happy, women taking charge, and self-love. So, we had a pretty decent discussion prior to the recording, like I always do with my guests, and we were talking about, one of the big things we were talking about was toxic relationships, and so let's go ahead and dive right into that. So I guess really, are there any, I guess, telltale signs? Because I know one of the things you were telling me as far as like women being in toxic relationships is that they almost don't know until it's too late, or either they're already deep into it, and at this point it's like, the relationship has become a mess.
Yeah, so just based off of experience like that I can think of, I feel like when you're in a toxic relationship, at times when it's new, it's good and it's fresh, there might be some red flags that you may look over. But you may know deep down, like, oh, well, I don't really like that, or, what's that about? But you still, right, continue to date this person because, in your opinion, they make you happy. But as you go on in the relationship, those are still red flags that keep popping up at you, and you do nothing about them because he makes you, or he or she makes you happy in other ways. And then it gets to a point where everything's piling up to the point where you're just like, how did I get here? So it's always different. It depends on what relationship you're in, but there's signs like how someone talks to you, or how someone may treat you. It just all depends on, you really have to know your self-worth, and if you don't, you can wind up being stuck in a relationship and not knowing what to do until you finally realize that you have to do something about it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because I know one of the things you were talking to me about is like believing in believing that someone has the potential. I guess because I understand, especially when you love someone, it's not easy to just drop them to the wayside, and it's like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I know quite a few people who go through these things, and I don't want to be the person or that guy that just says, just drop them and, keep it moving. Because I believe people deserve a chance to do better and improve at the end of the day. So it's like the deeper you get into it, it's like you what is it?
Get hopeful or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I can only speak for me, of course, but there could be lots of others like me. I feel like I try my best to be as positive as I can. That's just me and who I am as a person. Now, when something goes wrong or something's rubbing me the wrong way, I've realized in my life, I feel like I can be that person to maybe change someone. And I feel like this goes for a lot of women. You feel like you can date a person, and this could be for guys as well, but you feel like you can date a person, you see those red flags that you didn't pay attention to, but you also over time feel as if that you're able to modify them, or you're able to tweak them, or perhaps change the person that you're dating. And in all reality, that may not be the case. And you end up spending lots of time and energy with someone that you feel as if you can change. And that, like I said, may not be the case.
Yeah.
and you end up fighting your efforts almost, and it becomes even more toxic because you're trying to change who a person really is instead of taking it for what it is. So that becomes a whole situation. You can't change someone if that's who they really are. You have to accept it and look in the mirror and say, hey, this is what it is. I'm not capable of teaching someone how to be someone that I want them to be if that's not who they are. So I feel like that definitely plays a role. And I've been there firsthand, had that experience, where you want to change something. It just doesn't happen like that. Yeah. So you definitely have to be mindful of that. If you want to change somebody, you have to ask yourself why, and if you're not comfortable with that, you also have to ask yourself why and what aren't you comfortable with. Those are all red flags, man.
So I guess based off of your experience, if you looking back in hindsight, if there were any, I guess, general red flags that you would say be cautious, cautious. Be cautious. What would those be?
A big one is how someone talks to you. It's the most basic thing ever. I think that's huge because you can tell a lot about how a person speaks to you. Respect is so important. Also, not saying you're not going to catch someone in a lie or two. We're all human.
Right.
But if you catch someone in a lie, it begins to become a thought in your head, can I trust this person?
Right.
Trust is important. So I would say the biggest things is trust, communication, respect. You just really have to look out for those things. I feel like those are primarily the biggest things because they filter through in other departments of a relationship. But you can really tell, like I said, how a person treats you and how they speak to you. You can really judge a person's character from that. And you should never question it. And especially if it happens multiple times. If someone's speaking out of terms to you, take it what it is. You can either try and correct it, stand up for yourself, let them know that's not right.
Yeah.
But you can really tell, like I said, how a person speaks to you. It's not right.
So, and sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It makes me think, though, because I'm thinking about women in, I guess, domestic violence like domestic violence relationships. And, that's the extreme. And fortunately, like, that's not you or anybody I know. But it just makes me think, like, did they miss those signs or did they ignore those signs and did they let it get to a point where it's like, okay, you're kind of trapped now. You know what I mean? Because it got to a point you didn't get out early enough and you're now in this horrific situation. You see where I'm going?
I think that a lot of what you're saying has to do not with did they miss the signs or did they ignore the signs. I feel like people can see the signs. It just depends on what they plan to do with them. Comfortable ability, I always struggle saying that word. Comfortable ability really plays a role in that as well. Because if you're comfortable with somebody, then you can feel intimidated or even lazy, like I'm not trying to meet nobody else, I'm comfortable, I got somebody Netflix and chill with. Comfortability, you want to stay in the place that you're comfortable at, so you choose to deal with these things that you're not okay with because you don't want to deal with anybody else new. So you just want to stay in your little nook, and that's where things start to get shaken up, and that's where you start to see, oh, I'm stuck. How did I get here? Well, I was laying comfortable, and now I'm really uncomfortable.
Right.
So now I got to get up and go somewhere, and now I'm extremely uncomfortable. You know?
Right. So let me ask you this question: because you're a smart girl, and
I hope so, yeah.
I know. So you are you, and I guess what advice would you give somebody that may be going through what you went through?
I would say, in the simplest of ways, know what you like and don't be afraid to have what you like. If you don't like the way someone is speaking to you, don't tolerate someone speaking to you in that way. If you don't like the way you're being treated, you don't have to be treated that way. I think that the best advice I can give is love yourself more, and I know this may sound bad, but in a humble way, the most humble way possible. Love yourself way more than you can ever love anyone else, because you can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself.
Right.
So even if that means girl or guy, don't matter, take yourself out, get your nails done, like do what you got to do. But my best advice is learn to just love yourself, put yourself first, and know that you don't deserve anything less than what you want, because you can have whatever you want.
Right.
You know, that's what I would say.
I agree. It's like Terrell Owens, the football player, used to say, it's like this clip. He's like, I love me some me. He said, I love myself so much I cannot stand myself. You know, so I always think about that when people talk about self-love. So we're going to go ahead and roll into our next topic. This is one I was looking forward to talking about. keeping women happy. Yeah, that's it's, you know, as a guy, it's tough work.
What you trying to say?
It's tough work. That's all I'm saying. It's tough work. Look, again, me in a relationship, looking to get engaged, like making my girl happy. It makes, seeing her happy makes me happy. But it's like making her happy. It's like, gosh, it may take some work. And I guess me as a guy, not speaking for the rest of the guys, but me as a guy, like me, I'm stubborn, and I sometimes mess up and not be paying attention. So I act like I don't know what I need to be doing.
Oh man. Yeah.
So you know. So yeah, I think about that, and it's just like yeah. But I mean, again, like seeing her happy makes me happy.
Yeah.
So. What's your take on that?
I think that men, I think men put too much. It's okay to think really hard into something, but I feel like you guys, men, not specifically you, Cliff, I'm not gonna call you out, but I feel like I feel like men think too hard into the littlest things that can make a woman so happy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel as if, let's say that you're married, all right? And your beautiful wife is at home before you are, and you come home from work. The littlest thing you can go over. Rub her feet if that's your thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, small things like that over time, and especially a surplus of those small things, make a woman happy. Not all women need a Louis bag, a Gucci bag. I mean, we would love that by all means.
Yeah, I'm looking at you like,
I would love a Louis bag. But no, I'm just saying, if I came home and I came home and my apartment was clean, or I went to work and there were random flowers, not on Valentine's Day, just a random hump day. Mm-hmm. Random hump day, just there. Or some $10 into my Cash App. Oh, here's lunch for you. Just the smallest things make women so happy. The big things are great. But I do feel like men put so much emphasis on trying to go big and go hard and go big. It's the small things. Like, start there. Start there.
You know why that might be? And this is just me as a guy, me personally, actually. Because I do think about that kind of stuff. I think it's the big things. I'm thinking about, gosh, like, okay, I did this. I got her this. Like, I don't know how else I can top that and stay within my budget. Because I think about, making me happy, like, maybe want to buy me a game system, or, a TV, buy me a dope watch or something, like
big
that. And I sound so materialistic, but it's like that's the kind of stuff, like, I guess it's because, like, men, like, you got the men that are handymen, and they love power tools, like, to get that $300 drill, that kind of stuff. Like, that's, and I guess so when some of us that think like that, it probably affects how we look. It's like, dang, I got her this necklace, I got her these earrings, I got her this bracelet. Hey, shoot. It's like, because I'm not even going to lie, I'm thinking about, like, an engagement ring, and it's like, dang, how am I top an engagement ring?
Goodness gracious. I'm saying, though, like, you have to also be careful with that when you're thinking of, like, oh, I'm going to get her, this ring, this watch, this Louis bag, because, I want one.
Somebody get this girl a Louis bag.
Give me a Louis bag, somebody. I don't want to get it myself. No, but I'm just saying, like, you can buy all these things, but if you ever thought about it, if you ask a woman, like, what do you want in a guy?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, a woman is going to say things that are found in the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, I want someone with great communication. I want someone who's spiritual and loves God. I want someone who's going to love me unconditionally. They will say things that matter internally. So guys, if they're thinking materialistically and like, oh, I'm going to spend a check on my girl, great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that you can give a girl is what's inside. And I'm not trying to get too mushy here, but I'm saying you know, that communication, the things that you can't buy that are priceless, that you can, you know, no one can ever steal. You know, those are the things that I feel like over time, those little things that I said, you coming home, you rubbing her feet, you sending her this message that you didn't even have to. Those things are actually what makes women happy, and the Louis bags on top of it is just bonus. And that's just bonus. In my opinion, I can't, like I said, some girls out here really just wanting the Louis bags.
You reminded me, actually, one of the gifts I got my girl for Christmas was actually a picture. So two pictures. We took, you know, some pictures we took together, and I sent them. I downloaded them onto my flash drive. Went to the pharmacy, printed them off, found this dope picture frame at Target. And it's one of those picture frames that, like, you know, it felt like a book frame, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so put them in there, gave it to her, and I was like, oh, she liked that. Okay, like, I'm not gonna lie, had that been me, I would have like, oh, that's nice, some pictures.
That's so thoughtful.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it was, because for me, it was like really the thought, like, okay, you know, these are some dope pictures that we took. One was actually from Valentine's Day last year, and the other one was from a wedding we attended in September of last year. So I thought, okay, you know, some dope pictures, you know, we look nice, and
it's thoughtful.
Yeah.
You put more than your money into it. It means more.
Oh yeah, it ain't cost me nothing.
Well, it means more. It's more valuable. That's just my opinion. Like I said, it's more valuable. Anybody can buy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't require much thought, especially if someone's telling you like, hey, I want this. But if you're going out the way and you're doing these small things, like, you're such a valuable person.
Yeah.
Like, you're not easy to come by.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to be cherished.
Right.
You're going to make her happy.
Yeah.
You know?
But it did a lot for me, and it still does when I go to her place and I see the picture on the nightstand, and it's like, oh, okay, she really does like it. You know what I mean?
As she should. That's extra dope.
Yeah. So that was a good one. Now we're going to get into the trending topic, brought to you by, I don't even know the name of the source, to be honest with you guys. It's not What's Trending. It's not BuzzFeed like last time. This one is some trending topic I found doing a Google search, last minute search, honestly.
Yeah.
A survey, some organization did a survey that reveals how consumers really judge brand authenticity, which is really important these days. And 51% of consumers feel that brands connect with their audience, while 92% of marketers believe that brands connect with their audience. And that says a lot, and I hope marketers see this, because they need to be focused on what the consumers are saying. And you and I kind of talked about this. The best example I have is when I look at these commercials and they're showing these families that live in these really nice looking, they're really not big homes, they're regular sized homes, but they're like designer homes, something you see on HGTV. Homes. Yeah. And it's like, I don't connect to that. You know, as a average middle class American, like, where all the neighborhoods I've been around in this city, I don't see many houses like that, and I've been in a lot of houses. I don't see a lot of houses looking like that, even with people that are well-to-do, and you know, so it's like it's a thing of what they're showing people isn't realistic, in my opinion. No,
it's not.
A lot of times
they're painting a picture. You know, even for some brands, it could be the crappiest product ever.
Yeah.
But their commercial can look so nice. It can look so quote unquote bougie in a way. And I guess it provokes people to buy it. Like, oh, this commercial, this is supposed to be so nice. But in all reality, they're painting a picture for this commercial to market this product.
Yeah.
When the marketing actually isn't for the product. It's just kind of to draw you in to feel like this product is like, thebomb.com, I guess you could say. In all reality, it may not be. So it is unrealistic.
Yeah.
But marketing, they all do that. Marketers do that that's their job. They just make something look a little better than it actually is because they want you to buy it, regardless of if it is actually good or not.
Right.
Their job is to make it look good.
Now, would you say that, because I know at the same time too, I think about, say, with people, they go out and they buy these things that they can really not afford, but they still get it anyway because they want to feel like they're a part of the in crowd, and you see where I'm going. The whole, like, people say, keeping up with the Joneses. And so I feel like when these companies when they present their products in a certain way, they are having that sort of influence on the audience that's watching, which I think can be a positive and a negative, because you're going to generate sales, but then on the flip side of that, you're robbing somebody and pushing them to attain a certain lifestyle that they cannot afford.
It's just like how there was that whole spotlight on models, their unrealistic figures, and how younger women would look at these models and those would be their ideal bodies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. They'll paint a picture of something. You might have Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. There's people growing up that like Kylie Jenner is the epitome of beautiful, and I have to look like Kylie Jenner.
Right.
And so we can also get into it's a comparison thing, but it's all marketing, regardless if you're selling a product or if Kylie Jenner has a garment on and she's selling it for Fashion Nova. Then kids, look at that and say, I want to look like Kylie Jenner in that Fashion Nova dress, so I'm going to go to Fashion Nova because that dress is going to make me look like Kylie Jenner.
Right.
That's what they do, and it really does. It's a false picture, and it does make you compare yourself to other people, or feel like if you purchase their product that you'll be a part of this new trend and you'll be like extra hip, in the in crowd. That's what it does. I'm 24 and I still feel that way. I see a dress and I'm like, that's gonna make me look really snatched. But in all reality, it's just the dress. It's not gonna make you look anything like Kylie Jenner.
Right.
But that's what they make it seem like.
Right.
So and it sells. And it sells.
Right. And it's so funny because I think about, like, if I could, if I want that Porsche 911 GT3 RS, the top of the line Porsche there is. But it's like, what is it if I don't have the house to go with it? You know what I mean? Like,
just a car.
Right. And
another car note.
But you put on this, you have this facade, and I feel like a lot of people do that because of this kind of marketing. They put on this facade and have people thinking they're living this certain kind of lifestyle.
Lavish.
Right. And then you see what they really about, and it's like,
struggling.
Right, exactly. And that sucks. So I'm actually glad we came across this, because I think marketers really need to think about the message that they're giving off to people. And I think one of the brands that does a really good job of conveying, or not even going to say conveying, but connecting with their audience is Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Because I've always admired all of their campaigns, especially their guerrilla marketing campaigns. They keep it simple. Like the Share Coke campaign, where the Coke bottles had people's
names on them.
Right. And I literally bought a bottle of Coke for somebody one time. It had their name on it. But it's like, that's something that
gonna make you buy it too.
Right. That I can engage with, and they can easily shoot a commercial of somebody buying a Coke in the corner store, giving it to a friend being happy. Like, that's something you would, with a campaign like that, that's something that people can really get involved with and actually do and make somebody happy, because they went out their way to find a bottle of Coke with their name on it to give to them, just out of pure enjoyment or kindness to make them happy. So
it's also kind of cute,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bottle with your name on it. I just bought it just because, regardless if you drink Coke or not, like,
Yeah.
I just bought it, you know?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the person's going to drink it too because, like, heck, I don't drink Coke, but.
My mom has a Coke bottle with her name on it. It's been sitting there for like 2 years. She has not opened the bottle. She just keeps it because it's her name on it. So it's
Where's
just
it
fermenting. It's just in the kitchen.
Nah, bump ferment. That joint is flat. It's just sugar water. Sugar water.
She's
Sugar
never
water.
gonna drink it.
Sugar water with no fizzle to it.
Not even in the fridge.
You probably not even gonna hear this when you open it. You just gonna hear the crack in the tap.
Oh man, she ain't never gonna open it either.
Oh man, that was fun.
Oh.
All right, so that was our trending topic. Again, I don't even know where I pulled it from, so I'm not going to be able to tell y'all where to find it. But if you Google it, you might be able to find something on it. So we're going to go ahead and get into our next topic: women taking charge. I was just thinking in general. I know you were asking me if I was thinking in general relationships, but just in general, women take, again, this being, I'm going to call it Women's Empowerment Month, even though Women's Empowerment Day was like last Friday. I mean, why not empower women every day?
Amen. I love that.
I actually put that on the SANE Show post. I'm like, today may be Women's Empowerment Day, but let us not only empower women today, but every day. Because it's not just like with Black History. Black History is just not confined to one month. It is
every day.
Every day, because Black History, women's empowerment is a part of America. So why not embrace that stuff and acknowledge that stuff every day? Yeah. So women taking charge, and I like the idea of that. I just think because one, we don't see enough of that. I think it's cool when a woman steps up and takes charge in business, especially.
Yeah.
And when they get the job done. I mean, I can think of some people off the top of my head who have stepped into, I don't want to call it a position of power, but have stepped into roles where they have a little bit more power and they've excelled and they're killing it.
Yeah. Listen, women, we out here.
Yeah.
We are some powerful creatures. Now, I will say, I believe it's so good. It's so nice to have women in leadership roles because they give different perspectives than men.
True.
They really do. And B, sometimes, again, with the different perspectives, sometimes you need those different perspectives. You know, it's good to have different opinions from different thought processes. Not saying men all think the same, but I'm just saying it's good to have those different perspectives in business. And two, I feel like, they're organized. Women come with a different level, different processes. It's just something about having a woman in charge. She really gets stuff done. Then you can't deny it. Like, she gets stuff done. I'm all about having a woman in business. And honestly, you don't see a lot of authoritative figures that are women. I mean, just in my workplace. But that's just in general. You don't see a lot of them. So when you do, you just know she's about her stuff. She's making stuff happen. So
it's almost like with Black people. Like you don't see too many Black VPs, executives. And when I do, I'm like, oh, we got to, like, well, part of me is like, oh, we got a brother, he go
like having Mayor Vi Lyles,
yeah.
First of all, if you ever meet her, she's awesome.
Cool.
But she really gets stuff done. It's just a different.
No doubt.
Yeah, like it's really cool to see. I mean, if you think back to where women couldn't even have these positions or couldn't even work, we going way back.
Right. To
see it now, it's exceptional. And I feel like more people, because there's still some people that may feel intimidated to have a woman in an authoritative position.
Yeah.
It could be intimidating for some. But I'm glad that we're at a place right now where it's a little more common. It's becoming more and more common every year. So
there are about 5 Fortune 500 companies that have named female CEOs.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, they're making money.
Yeah. I know GM is one of them, General Motors.
Oh, yeah.
They're one of the companies. And most of these hirings are first-time women CEOs. So women are off to a fast start this year.
Oh, we're running.
Claiming a lot of those positions. So, yeah, it's a really exciting time. And Yeah, I'm definitely on that page because at the end of the day, for me, no matter who's in the position of leadership, being able to display those leadership qualities and at the same time being able to discern in different situations as well as have a strategic approach.
Yeah.
So, because
definitely.
I mean, me having an unbiased look, like there are a lot of, again, there are women I know that are in certain leadership roles already that are killing it, and then there are also many other women I can think of that aren't in leadership roles yet, but I know if I were in a position to hire, like they would be in the front of the line because I know that they have what it takes to get it done. So
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely. So we definitely got to give women more
It can
credit.
also be a little hard for, depending on what industry, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
for women to actually get to that point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's always been some cases where I guess there's been some injustices. Not saying there's been any, stereotyping or, discrimination against women, but there could be. You never know. But I'm just saying, as a woman, I can see how it is hard for some women to progress in certain industries and certain fields to get to that position where they want to go. In my opinion, they have to work a lot harder for that role and position to where they want to go. So.
I can definitely see that in, say, like blue collar industries. Where
Oh,
it's like
for sure.
trucking and construction company. Where you literally think about a man doing some of those. Like, actually, it's interesting. I was driving through town earlier today, and I saw a woman on one of the construction sites. And I looked, and I'm like, that's dope.
It is.
That's dope.
You don't see it all the time,
You
though.
don't.
You
really
don't
don't.
see
I'm
it.
like, that's dope. She's working on it. She's doing construction work with the guys, keeping up with the guys. Like, I'm like, respect.
And we talk to a lot. I talk to a lot of business owners for work, of course. There is so many women that own construction companies, that own plumbing companies, or any electric companies, any hands-on manual labor that you wouldn't see a woman typically doing. There's people out here owning a whole business, whole businesses from scratch, getting it done.
Right.
So we out here.
Yeah.
Applaud
Definitely.
them.
Definitely. So when we talk about do you I hate to go this direction. No, because I don't like going political. Now, removing all as far as like bias in relation to parties or whatever, do you think it would have been a good move for Hillary Clinton to have, or would it have been good for Hillary Clinton to have won the presidency? See, I'm on the fence about it. Like, it would have been like, I would have been like, yeah, we got a woman. But it's like, do we really want this person?
I mean, it can go both ways, though.
Yeah.
Either or, we would have been unhappy about something.
Right.
Whichever direction we went, we would have been unhappy about something. Now, I personally, I don't agree with everything Hillary Clinton says. I'm not trying to get too political, but I don't think it would have been a bad thing for her to be president.
Yeah.
I just don't. I feel like she would have done a spectacular job.
Okay.
I mean, the position where we are right now, you never know. You never know what position we could have been in if we went the other way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you could complain about where we at right now, but we won't know what it would have been if we went the other way.
I guess you would be on the same page, making sure, like, because there's people out there who jump on bandwagons just because it's good for a cause. You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
They hop on the bandwagon.
Right. Like, I'm pretty sure you had people vote for Obama just because he was black. and not policies.
Chocolate, yeah.
Right. But so again, you're clearly you're on the same page of not just doing something for the cause, like making sure we vetted this person. And
my dad takes politics very seriously.
Oh yeah.
As someone who's in office, I've always been around someone telling me and sharing with me the importance of voting and the importance of researching who I'm voting for and who are all the candidates that would be on a
That's
ballot
good.
that you would vote for, because we're the next up.
Right.
We're already voting now.
Right.
There's some people our age, Cliff,
Yeah.
that are not even voting. They think that it doesn't even matter.
Oh, it's a lot of them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
they think that it doesn't matter. I personally feel like voting does matter, because you're in situations.
It does, and it should. It should
You
be a
get in
holiday, too.
situations.
Yeah, yeah.
Bills getting passed, things that didn't have to transpire if you took the time to vote and feel like your vote mattered. It all
Right.
matters, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Every one vote matters. So
Exactly.
I don't think I would ever make a decision just because Obama was black. I don't think so. Obama, to me, stood for a good cause. Maybe not everything. Some people may have, didn't like some things, but overall, you have to look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
I agreed with what he said. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion. And so, Hillary, she was a woman. I wouldn't have voted for Hillary just because she was a woman.
Right.
Just like Viola was our new mayor.
Yeah.
She's a woman and she's
Yeah.
African American.
Yeah.
Double whammy for you.
Right.
Didn't vote for her because she was a black African American woman. You
Right.
have to actually like and see yourself in 3, 4, 5 years and say, hey, this is what they believe in. Am I okay with living this stuff out if it actually transpires?
Right.
You have to look at all those things
Right.
and make an ethical decision based on how you want to live.
Right.
It's important.
Exactly. Good. Now for our last topic, self-love. This one was inspired by you. I was having trouble coming up with a final topic, honestly, because there was a few I had in mind, but then it's like tossed them out the window. So I was like, you know what? KK's really been on this self-love
Yeah.
thing, and self-love is important. We kind of touched on it earlier in the recording, but really want to dive into it and really talk about self-love, because that is really important, not just in terms of loving yourself, but in getting before you get into a relationship and try to love somebody else, but loving yourself, knowing your worth, because that has a significant effect on everything you do in life.
Yeah, it does.
And I mean, heck, I'm pretty sure most of your successful people really have the self-love thing down as well. You know what I mean? Looking out for yourself, knowing your worth, not settling for certain things. And in any career, that's important. And knowing you love yourself to make the right decisions and to not just do something for the money. So it's a lot. So please, you tell me, like, your take on self-love.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of hit on it. I feel like self-love never stops. Like, it's just a continuous thing. It just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. I feel like every day you learn something new about yourself. I am on this little kick where I'm just like, Michaela, like, wipe away all negativity. Like, it's 2019. Stop seeing stupid stuff in your head. Take those thoughts, throw them away. Like, change your perspective. Like, I'm on this kick where I just want to change my perspective about things. I'm spending more time alone. I'm reading. I'm finding out that I love working out. First of all, I never used to work out, like, ever. I absolutely love working out.
I have a hard time telling sometimes, because it's work. I get it. I love working out, but it's work. It
is work, but self-love, like I said, is continuous.
Yeah.
You may not even know it, but the time that you spend alone, the thoughts that you think about, if you really pay attention to them, what are you thinking about? Or if you mess up on something, how hard are you being on yourself? How stressed are you on your own making yourself? What are you putting on your shoulders? I'm trying to get into this place where I know that I deserve to have fun. I deserve to do what I want to do. I don't have to be tied down by any limitations. I need to understand that I need to be comfortable with myself. Whether that mean I go to the nail salon by myself, get my feet and my toes done, have a glass of wine, and it is the best day ever, and I spent that day by myself. I can read a book even. Like, just certain things that you figure out when you're by yourself that you don't figure out when you're surrounded by tons of people because you don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and it goes into play with, like you said, your job. There's certain things that even at my current job that I've done, and in my head I'll tell myself, no, you can't do that. Like, you're not going to win that, or you're not going to get that. Right. Why do I feed myself those thoughts? And then I surprise myself, and I end up doing these things and accomplishing these things. And I look at myself and go, why do you say these things about yourself? Why do you doubt yourself? And sometimes that can stem from, like you said, toxic relationships. When you're getting out of something, you're trying to find and regroup and find who you really are as a person. And it's just something, Cliff, like I said, is continuous. You have to make sure you have that alone time and figure out who you really are as a person.
You know, I was thinking as you're talking, because you're a few years younger than me, so you're really at that critical point too. I know a few other people that are in that same space as you, as far as the whole self-love thing, and really, because it's, you know, especially not being too far removed from college and, you know, into the real world, and you really, because I you know, I was at that point too, is like learning more about myself, what I like, and you know, we talked to Lawan and I talked about this in the previous recording, you know, as far as adulting. I think that's a part of adulting too, is like really mastering self-love, again, knowing one's worth, and knowing, you know, what you're interested in and what you're not interested in, and really figuring out more of who you are. Because I feel like, for the most part, I guess early 20s, mid 20s as well, it's a lot of 80-90% of the way of, you know, knowing who you are. It's just really the smaller stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you're figuring out. And you're like, okay, so yeah, because I know I'm still, I feel like I'm probably towards the end of that, for me personally.
I'm in the prime right now.
Yeah, so and when you get through that, it's gonna, that's
beautiful.
It is.
It's gonna, I know it, and that's why I'm, you know, troubles, you know, hard times, stressful times, tribulations, they suck, but at the same time, you should be so thankful for them. I know that sounds so weird to say, because after you're out of your storm and you look back, you're going to see how far you've come, and you're just going to love yourself. Like, you're going to look back and be like, man, I did that. And, you know, these things I'll never do again because I've learned from them. I'm learning things that I refuse to tolerate from here on out. I'm learning things that I like and things that I don't like. And if I don't like it, I'm learning that I am able to speak up on them. I'm a very nice person, and sometimes I can be overlooked and maybe taken advantage of, which you don't have to be mean in any way, but sometimes it's good to be not brutally honest or blunt, but blunt. I'm just saying, like, you can, you know, speak up about things. There's just so many different elements of knowing my worth, which is contributing to my self-love, which contributes and pours out into your jobs. It contributes and pours out to your relationships with your friends. Like, I don't know, I feel like over time I'm watering different relationships. Like my girlfriends, I'm spending much more time with them. I'm getting out of my head. I feel I don't know, I feel lighter. I feel lighter and more positive, and day by day.
The show, girlfriend.
What?
Girlfriends.
Girlfriends?
Just in general, yeah.
Oh.
Spend time with my girlfriend.
It's just a process. It's a beautiful thing. Like, self-love is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the simplest thing. Like, whether, you know, you don't want to go to work tomorrow because you feel really stressed and you've had a chaotic week. Girl, boy, call out. Like, you deserve to. Like, it's your life, and no one can really tell you what to do, and you know what's best for you at the end of the day. So, like I said, it's a lot of things that contribute to self-love, and you really have to get to know yourself to know how to actually love yourself and be true to yourself so that you're able to actually do that.
One of the things I like that you said, you know, was talking about being, you know, spending time alone, because, you know, that's something I do a lot of course, you know, live by myself, girls in another city and whatnot, and it bothers me when people talk about doing things by themselves because they don't want to be alone. It's like, what's it to be alone if you don't feel, you know what I mean? Like, you must feel lonely then, or you know what I mean? Or like you're being isolated or something like that. Like, and not to say, I'm not going to say like there's something wrong with those people for feeling that way, but I just feel like when people feel that way, there's something they need to work on. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, I prefer to be by myself. Like, my birthday, you know, I started the first half of the day, I just spent chilling, unbothered, listening to music, watching TV. You know, had some quiet time as well. Took a nap, and then I got up, recorded, and had my little birthday gathering.
You had a good day.
Had a really good day. So, it came back and it was just me again. But I mean, because for me, like some of my best days are by myself. I don't have to worry, nobody bothering me, and outside of talking to my girl, but I don't have to worry about responsibilities. Everything's taken care of. I can just chill, unbothered, and enjoy the day. And it's so funny. One of my homegirls, shout out to Bree. I remember she asked me one time, I think she was doing like some kind of survey, or she was looking at something, and she was asking me do you ever just drive and not listen to anything? She's like, some people feel like they need music when they drive, not because they like to listen to music, because I love to listen to music.
They need noise.
They need noise to keep themselves.
I know a lot of people like that.
Right. Where me, it's like, I thought about it. I said, nah, because I
can just drive.
Yeah, I do that sometimes, because really, I just think about stuff. My mind is like, I'm just, if I'm having, if I got a lot on my mind, I may not hop in the car and plug up my music. I'm gonna sit there and drive and really think things out, because for me, especially, driving is a therapy. It helps me to drive because I can think clearly, and I'm relaxed when I'm behind the wheel. So yeah, definitely.
In terms of, I know you said some people go out by themselves and they're not comfortable with it, and it could be a loneliness thing. They don't want to go out alone. Wanted to touch on that real quick as well too, because I have always been the type of person to not want to go anywhere. Not anywhere. It depends where I'm going. Like if I was going to eat, I probably wouldn't eat at a restaurant and dine in by myself. I probably wouldn't do it.
You gotta do it.
Cliff, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
I'm so serious. I do it often, especially because I might go to the bar or something.
I don't know, man.
But I get good with my bartenders, so I'm usually talking to them when I'm by myself. But I'll say the one time I did it, so there's this restaurant, Ted's Montana Grill. Go check it out, y'all. The best steaks. Better than Ruth Chris. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'll take you there. So, and it's not expensive either.
Okay, all right.
I went there, I remember, and it's a really chill ambiance and very relaxing. They got the little music going and everything. And I remember I went there because I was trying it out too. And I went there, I dined by myself, and I'm just like, wow, this is really, I'm really just taking it in. So I think really, I wouldn't just go to any restaurant and do that. There's certain establishments I would go to because I'm going to get good food. It's a nice, relaxed ambiance, and I get to really enjoy myself.
Okay, because in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, this man go out by himself. Nothing wrong with that. I have a couple friends. I have a couple friends that actually go out and love just going out by themselves. They'll go out to the bar. They'll go out for nightlife, like by themselves. And I always thought that was so weird. And they're like, oh, Michaela, you should try it. And I'm like, I'm a woman. I'm a girl. I feel like it's a little different for me. I just, I don't feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's not that I can't go, because I'll go to the nail salon, I'll go get some lunch, maybe won't dine in. But, I feel a little uncomfortable at times going places by myself, just because of the world we live in. Let's just be real.
I can understand that. I guess if you find that right place that you would feel comfortable going by yourself, then I will encourage you to go to that place then. Not just any place. I'll probably say going out nightlife by myself, I probably couldn't do that. It just feel weird.
Nah, bro, that's weird.
I gotta have somebody to talk to.
You gotta be really strong to do that.
Especially because I people watch, so I gotta have somebody to talk junk to or whatever.
You gotta be really strong to do that.
Yeah, because I'll just be standing around like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that they do that. Like, just go out and just enjoy the environment.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, do what you do. Self-love, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Well, that was a really good discussion. I've been looking forward to this recording for quite a while.
That makes me happy, Cliff.
I appreciate you coming on to the SANE Show. Finally got this one recorded.
Thank you for the pizza.
Anytime. And thank you, everybody else, for listening from the U.S. to Canada, Panama, Belgium, United Kingdom. Appreciate you all listening. Continue tuning in. Go like our Facebook page, Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, The SANE Show, Instagram, SANE_show, SANE_show. Find us at SANE_show. On Twitter, we're on every major streaming platform as well as some other streaming platforms. You can find us there as well. And with that being said, again, thanks for listening. This is The SANE Show about nothing and everything, episode 19 with KK.
Yes!
We're out.